listening to Good Times Friday. Every Friday from 8 to 10 p.m. This is Jimi Liceaga. Very glad to be here. I want to thank PVPN, the Progressive Village Performance Network, for allowing us to play their rendition of Miracle on 34th Street. That was a great time. Had a couple of callers call and say that they really enjoyed it. Played it for a second week this week because people called us as well after the show last week and asked if we could play it again because some people missed the first half. And we're very glad to do that for them. But this is Good Times Friday. I want to thank you all for tuning in. You can check out the videos from this show and more at tomorrowsalliance.com as well as YouTube. You can check us out at Good Times Radio TV. Seeing as how next week, same time, same place, we'll be here, but it will be a brand new year. It'll be 2012. Many people saying that 2012 is going to be the end of the world. Only way it'll be the end of the world is if, for some reason I should wake up and my moccasins are missing. That being said, I can always go to the store to get them, but how am I going to get there if not wearing my moccasins? If you guys would like to give us a call and talk to us about some of your favorite memories of this year, give us a call at 630-617-5683.
What was that?
630-617-LOVE, and we can talk about it a bit. I think my favorite memory this year had to be probably playing, we played a gig, Tomorrow's Alliance, that's my brother and I's band. We played a gig at Brookfield Zoo this past Monday night, and that was a great time. They had all their lights set up and everything, and that was a great time. As well as writing a lot of songs. We got a lot of songs written and down that we didn't have last year, and I'm really grateful to have my brother for that. He's a good man.
Thanks, Jim.
And I'm really grateful for the band. And, I'm just grateful for the friends and family that I have and all the new people that I've met that will continue to be in my life in a positive way for the rest of my life, hopefully. As well as theirs. Arthur, what was your favorite memory of this year, man?
My favorite memory had to be, let's see, regarding the band, it definitely had to be the time us, Tomorrow's Alliance, we actually were able to perform at Toyota Park for their Polish Fest.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Over the summertime. And I think that may have been one of the biggest stages. It was just really interesting to see that how much room we really had to move around. And there were points there where I was like, you're so far away doing the guitar solo, but we ended up working it out.
A lot of fun.
Doing a few little jumps, little unexpected jumps, where we jump in the air or run back and forth and with the guitar chords and stuff. So anyways, it was a great time. I remember that being a great time this year. And, also just school. Honestly, school's been a great time. Just getting it going. But honestly, tomorrowsalliance.com, we've just been building it and keeping it rolling.
Yeah, hopefully this time next year we'll be going somewhere new, doing something new in a brand new town. Our dream is to go to California this upcoming March. Our drummer Jake, who is in the green room right now, doesn't want to talk on the air.
Jake!
He's a bit nervous, gets nervous. He's very nervous, man.
Jake!
He is out in California at MI, which is Musicians Institute. It's a college for musicians who want to tighten up their craft. No math, nothing like that, just music school. That's got to be amazing. And coming back from there, I can definitely tell that he has definitely improved on his skill very, very much. And I didn't think that was possible because playing with him this past summer, I thought, man, this is like the best drummer ever. That's something else I'm very grateful for is the fact that we are now playing with Jake on drums, playing with us. Hopefully soon he'll be writing songs with us, as well as coming back here to stay. Because California is nice, but I want us to get together. It's always fun. One thing is that this year was wild. 2011 had a lot of things in the news. For instance, Libya and Gaddafi's reign ending, and the very gruesome videos that were on the internet, and there are many that they haven't even put up because they show way too much, and it's just insane because I remember being a kid and watching him speak, and he was dressed in his nice getup, really nice clothes on, and he's speaking to millions of people, and he's in power. Being a kid, I remember thinking at the time I couldn't associate him with the country of Libya, but I remember thinking like, man, just wow, that's a man in power. And then watching the videos where the people that he ruled, and some believe he oppressed, they finally had him in their custody, and they took his life, but not before letting him know a bit how they felt about him through many different methods of theirs. But that was wild. That was one. Two, I would have to say another big thing that really happened was just Facebook. It just seems to be getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I took a class on that, and it's just amazing how far technology is coming and how cloud computing is just becoming bigger and bigger. And it's just amazing. I'm excited to see where we're going to be in 5 years. Hopefully I will not have aged too much. And I can still throw the old pigskin around with my brother and all.
Oh, yeah.
Something else, though, some of the greatest things were there were a lot of good movies this year. A lot of good movies this year. And speaking of next year, The Dark Knight Rises is coming out, as well as the brand new rendition of The Amazing Spider-Man, starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. And it's going to be a great year for movies. But this year for movies, the top 10 movies of 2011, in 10th place was The Devil's Double, 9th place The Descendants, 8th place X-Men First Class, 7th place Midnight in Paris, 6th place The Help, 5th place War Horse, 4th place Elite Savad's Enemy Within, 3rd place Kung Fu Panda 2, 2nd place 50-50, and 1st place was Drive. Now, I did not get to see the movie Drive, but that was with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And I heard that the movie was very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? I mean, I don't know. I don't think.
I haven't seen it. I have not seen that yet. But on this list, I did. Let's see. Out of all of these, I did hear War Horse #1. That just came out, and so many people have already gone to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super cool. I heard 50-50 was a pretty darn good movie, and also the X-Men movie I heard was fantastic.
Yeah, the X-Men movie was it was like a new rendition of X-Men, just a different time in their lives where Professor Xavier and Magneto were young and stuff, and kind of X-Men back in the day. So
yes, definitely.
And then The Help was the movie rendition of a book, and that's one that I really did want to see, but never got around to seeing. 2012, my resolution is to check out more movies, kind of be more in the know. It's very good dinner conversation. It really is. If you don't know what you're going to say to the person, like you're sitting there on a very awkward first date, and you're sitting there and you got your fork in your hand, and you're like, if I have to just keep staring at this salad, if I need to keep staring at this salad in order to make myself feel better because no one's talking, I'm going to go crazy. That's when you just say, hey, have you seen Drive? Then you realize you're not on a date and you're eating with your father, and things get very, very weird. But if he's having a couple of drinks, I'm sure they'll just go right over his head.
Go right over.
Now onto the top 10 albums of the year. In 10th place was Fame by Chris Brown. In 9th place was Femme Fatale by Britney Spears. 8th place was Kaleidoscope Heart by Sarah Bareilles. 7th was Hands All Over by Maroon 5. 6th was Love by Jennifer Lopez. 5th was Songs for Party Rocking by LMFAO. 4th place was Planet Pit by Pitbull. 3rd place was Torches, Foster the People. 2nd place was Born This Way by Lady Gaga. 1st place
is 21 by Adele.
Adele is something else, man. She's really just kind of blown up in the last couple of months. I mean, I know that this isn't her first album, and she's been around for a couple of years.
Yes.
But this album is one that I feel like, at least in the college scene, I can speak for. She was a talk. She was the talk of the dinner table. She was the talk of the town many of the
Well, that I do know for a fact that this year, I have heard of Adele in the past, but I've never really listened to any of her songs.
Mm-hmm.
But the song, what is that? We Could Have Had It All. What's it called again?
Rolling in the Deep.
Is that Rolling in the Deep? Oh wow, okay. That song, it's something because so many people sing it, and it's like it really just uses your vocal cords to belt things out. So
Speaking of which, she had to cancel a bunch of tour dates because she blew out her voice singing. So
wow,
but it's really crazy. Lady Gaga has the second album, second highest selling album in the country, which makes sense because Gaga, and people are Gaga over Gaga, and people are also mad at her. Some people don't like her. I personally like her over Katy Perry. A lot of people are wondering why Katy Perry isn't on here, and it's like, well, she doesn't really put out.
Gaga was second?
Yeah, Gaga was second. I really respect Lady Gaga because she writes her own music, and she's such an amazing singer and performer, and her live shows have such a positive message. I feel like so many performers out now don't really have a positive message, and she's like, just be yourself, be happy with who you are. At the end of the day, be happy with who you are. And I really appreciate that. And meet her, I would tell her, and she knows this because, she's selling, and people are, going to see her. But I'd love to tell her just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know that you got to keep doing what you're doing, but seriously, you're great. Keep doing. What you're doing.
Even with these times though as well, it works perfectly because in the past you've seen performers and you still see performers, but they have kind of like that little negative I don't know, feel to some of their music, but with Lady Gaga, I mean, I just feel it's really with the times because we're in the whole recession, the way the market went down, and just where everyone's mindset's kind of been. It's been really hard to find a job and stuff, but it's almost like as time's moving on, it's like it's getting so much better, and I feel like her music's almost like a way that people are gonna remember that.
It is, and then the title itself, "Born This Way," is kind of a message to the gay community in a sense, because there's been a lot of talk, a lot of debate over whether homosexuals are born attracted to their same sex, and many say that they are born that way. Others say that they become this way through experiences in their life. I don't know what I don't really have an opinion on that, but I know that also goes along with her live shows and being who you are and being happy to be who you are, and it's I haven't really listened to the album. Wasn't a huge fan, honestly, of all the songs on it. The songs that I did, hear, like on the edge of glory, or and then Born This Way itself. I was more of a fan of her first album. I thought her first album was great. The Fame, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, I every artist goes through their different transitions. I mean, it's just
absolutely.
Like it's cool to see though, Lady Gaga, how she's gone through all the different
she's coming into her own, which goes along with Pitbull himself, who I realize now after hearing these old songs, and I realize that he's in there, and I'm thinking I never even caught that, but he's been around for a while, a couple years, 5-10 years maybe. And then actually an album that I'm surprised isn't on here in a sense is the Blink-182 album Neighborhoods, which came out a couple months ago, and that was their first release in 7 years. I listened to that album. I like it. I feel like after being gone for 7 years, it's great. I don't know. I appreciate it. Glad to see that Sarah Bareilles is on the charts. I haven't seen her in a while. Britney Spears still there.
Yep.
It's been going for 11 years, however long.
Chris Brown came back.
Chris Brown came back after.
He's still on there.
Yeah, he got into trouble for beating up Rihanna, which was all over the place. And he came back. I don't really respect him at all for what happened, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Maroon 5 is back. J-Lo is still there and will always be there. LMFAO, new band that just blew up. They're like this rap band kind of a thing.
Well, it's two guys.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
the main guy has the big fro, the afro with the glasses. But the other guy, did you know that the other guy? I was reading something on them, and I believe that's his uncle. Did you know that?
No, so he's a lot older than him, or?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm gonna check them out. I would like to check out a little bit more about their bio. And then Foster the People in third place with their album Torches.
Yeah.
They came up with that song Pumped Up Kicks, which their singer said that he didn't even mean for it to become a hit, but it did. When he wrote it, he wasn't intending for it to be a hit, and it ended up being a hit, which is great for him. It's always cool to kind of have like that hidden gem. But it's a great song. It really is. It was the song of my summer, honestly.
Yes.
And it's been around since before this summer, but
it's one of those songs that are honestly going to be played for
forever. For the rest, that's going to be like these songs. Like whenever songs from 2011 are on the oldie station in 40 years, that's going to be one of them that's constantly played, and we're going to be like, oh, we're sick of it. We're so sick of it, and the new kids are going to be like, I like this song, until they get sick of it themselves. But it's a great song. That being said. Yes. I would just like to ask Arthur a question, man. This whole year, I would like you to name off your favorite movie, your favorite song, and your favorite musician/band.
Okay, starting with my favorite movie. Well, the only movie I think, let me think. The only movie I've really seen this year that came out this year was Paranormal Activity 3. I saw that in the movie theater, and honestly, it had like a twist to it, and I was like, you know what? It wasn't too bad. I did not mind that. There are a few other movies that I can't think of right now that I must have seen that were really good. But regarding song, let's see. My favorite song would have to be let's see. What Surfing Bird by Captain Beach and the Shrimp Shack Shooter.
No,
I'm just joking. I'm just messing around. All right, my favorite song. I'm gonna go back to that. My favorite album, for example, I agree would be the Blink-182 album, and my favorite song off of there is definitely After Midnight. I think After Midnight is probably my favorite song of the summer, definitely, and of the whole year, 211. So, and let's see. My favorite musician would definitely have to be, musician-wise, I have been getting into a lot more of, well, I mean, this year, I mean, every year the Stones come back, but they reissued their, one of their albums, and I started listening to the Stones a little more, and I just thought, wow, man, that's pretty solid music, and, but I gotta say, I think Blink-182 was definitely something big. I started listening to, Arcade Fire a lot more.
Yeah,
they actually are. They have hit the scene like 210 or 209 was like the big year for them, but it's been rolling for them. I really like what they're doing.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
So what about you? What about your movie, favorite song, musician, even album?
Favorite movie for me had to be, and still is, and kind of always has been, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I watched it again for the first time in a while. Pulp Fiction, still a great movie. I wish I could have gotten out to the movie theater to see more movies this year. The only one I really got to see was Lion King 3D, which is great. It's awesome.
Okay, right on, man.
It was great being able to see it in 3D and like relive it because I haven't seen it since I was a kid. That was actually the first movie I ever saw at the movie theater. I went to Ford City Mall. Back when you could go there without getting shot. I went there with my dad. And that was a great time. My favorite song, gonna have to go with probably Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People, in the sense of it's a new song that really hit me hard as soon as I heard it. Oh man, there were so many parties that I'd get there and immediately, like once I was feeling good, put that song on and the whole party's like, yeah, So that was always cool.
Yeah.
And then favorite musician has to be Blink-182, in the sense of they came back, they put out a great album. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing in the future. It's so funny to see them because they're older now. Mark's going to be 40 in a couple months. Mark Hoppus, their bass player, he's the oldest. But the fact that a member of Blink-182 is going to be 40 is really something. You think that 30 is a milestone, and then he's going to be 40.
40,
so, it's going to be wild.
They made it. I remember I saw them. When was that? In August in Tinley Park, at their amphitheater over there, and I was like. I've never seen Blink-182 live, and I've always saw these videos on YouTube, whatever. I loved this tour, or their set list and all the songs they did. It was just like everyone. It was just such positive energy from everybody in the crowd.
Great.
Yeah,
that's what's always so much fun about them. Is that they always have that fun element, and that was what was so amazing about their album before this one, their previous album, the album that came before this last one, Neighborhoods, which. It's from 2004, which is their self-titled album, just titled Blink-182, in which their music took a very dark turn, but it was great. It was very good, and I expected that on their most recent album, which it was like this. It was like the same thing. Just it grew more, It became almost a little darker, a little more gritty, and I appreciate that a lot. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to WRC 88.7 FM, Elmhurst College Radio, on Good Times Friday. It is December 30th. December 30th, 2011. Tomorrow is the 31st.
Yeah.
New
Year's Eve, man.
I hope everybody out there has a very safe and happy New Year, as well as a very safe and happy New Year's Eve. Either have a DD, which is a designated driver, not a drunk driver, a designated driver, or have a place to stay over the night, because don't even chance getting a DUI. I got a buddy of mine who got a DUI a couple months ago, and it's not worth it, man. Seeing what he went through, it's not worth it. And I just want to make sure everybody out there is safe and sound. Arthur,
you know what? Let me ask you something. Just because, I'm the producer of the show, co-host, and of Good Times Radio TV, which you can check out at www.tomorrowsalliance.com. And we've done interviews so much this year, and this year has just been something. Just because we started our new season of Good Times Radio TV as well. So, all right, I know we've had a lot of interviews, but may I ask you, what was your favorite interview or just most, maybe let's say most interesting, or of the like the year, the whole year. Like what was the most that really kind of grasped you and was like, wow, man, this is a different turn.
I would say, and there were many, and there's also a band that I'm forgetting about, but I'm trying to remember. We had a really great time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably gonna go with Drew Dawson because she got signed. I mean, she's working on a record right now and planning on touring this summer with
Mm-hmm.
the famous act. So she's really really great. You can check her out at drewdawson.com. Um, as well as YouTube. But it was really cool because I felt like I was talking to somebody that like I know for a fact is going somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that may have been the last time that I will see her on this level,
Yeah.
before I see her on TV and everything. So that's probably mine, Arthur.
Yeah. You know what? No, I loved that interview. I thought that interview was so much fun. Was very interesting, and something else. All right. For example, my favorite was definitely Drew Dawson interview, but also we met a guy. Actually, I was all right. It's a funny story. I was walking over the summertime, and I'm really into
Jeremy
cars.
Greer.
Yes,
Jeremy
and
Greer.
I'm heading to a
forgot
car
about
show,
that.
and I
Yeah.
hear this music coming from a front porch. It's this guy named Jeremy Greer, right? He lives a few blocks from our house, and he's like, "Hey, listen to like a song of mine or something." And I was like, "Okay, all right, And it was very good. It was
Great.
so super good. And so we'd like to give a shout out as well to
The Jeremy Greer
the Jeremy
band.
Greer band.
And
They are
Jeremy Greer
Yes.
himself. He's been a good man. Let us use his PA a couple times this summer
PA
for
system,
gigs.
his
And this past
microphones
winter,
and stuff.
he's really a good dude, and he writes such powerful music. That's the other interview that I would say was
Mhm.
the most fun.
Yes.
These guys come in and they just have this energy, and I've never met them, and they come in and I'm thinking like, where are these guys from? I'm sitting there, I haven't heard them play, just like the way that they carry themselves, and I'm thinking like these people have an energy, and then they sit down and we do the interview part way, and just the way that they're talking, it intrigued me to hear their music because Jeremy and all of them, but especially Jeremy, feels so strongly about what he writes, and he just says it. He's like, this is what gets me through. Come on this trip with me, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I play their music on the radio, and I was listening to it, and I'm sitting there staring at him, and he's just sitting there like going with the music, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, wow, this artist, because that's artistic music. This artist is sitting 5 feet from me, and I've never heard this music before, and I already feel like I'm connecting with it.
Yeah.
From the music to the lyrics, just that power. And then after the interview, he came back into our green room and played us 2 songs. The whole band, just acoustic. They just rocked it. And Jeremy's just jumping around, stands on top of a chair, just starts singing. It was awesome. But that was
definitely one of my favorite interviews as well. And you know what? We'd also like to thank again everybody who was able to come on the show for an interview or just help out with our show this year, this 2011 year.
Definitely, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we
Ladies
really
and gentlemen, thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate
Yep.
everything.
And then a band to look out for that we're going to be interviewing in the next couple weeks is Fluid Impulse.
Mhm.
They're going to be on with us. They're a great band out of West Chicago. They were great. They're
Yes,
really
very
great,
good.
and we're looking forward to having them on. Steve, Derek, and TJ, as
Mhm.
well as their singer. I don't even believe I actually ever met their singer. He's relatively new to the band, but it's going to be a great interview. It's going to be a great 2012. I'm
Yes.
excited. So I want to thank
Yeah.
you all for tuning in here. As always, please remember our number is 630-617-5683, 630-617-LOVE. If you want to give us a call, give us a call. This is Good Times Friday on Fridays from 8 to 10 p.m. For myself, Jimi Liceaga, and my brother Arthur.
Liceaga.
I want to thank you all for tuning in today. We will be right back in a little bit, but not before we play some music. The time is 9:23 p.m., December 30th, 2011. And just remember that if you guys happen to walk away from your radio, just take this with you. Have a very safe and happy New Year, as well as New Year's Eve. Just be safe out there. Don't get into too much trouble. Once the cops show up, time to just chill. At least till they leave, whatever. But really, have fun and
Very
be thankful
safe,
for
yeah.
the last year. And there were hardships in there for myself, and I know Arthur and everybody out there. But just appreciate the good times that you had. It's always another day. Now we look forward to another year of life and new people to come and there are people out there that you're going to start talking to this year, and you're like, wow, where have they been? Like, how did I would have never thought I would have met this person. I'm so glad I got to meet him. And you may just meet him this year. So keep the faith,
Yes.
people. Keep on keeping on. Arthur, thank you for being on with me tonight,
Jimmy.
brother. You're a great man. I love
Thank
you,
you.
man. And we'll talk to you guys soon. This is Last Night. Traveling Wilburys on WRC.
Very cool, man.
Yeah. That was fun, dude.
That's good.
Right on. It's good, man.
Right on. ToMarsAlliance.com. Good Times Radio TV. Thank you very much for watching.